My son asked me for a prophecy in the Bible that is clear and that was fulfilled. So I looked at Revelation chapter 12. So in the year 70 Jerusalem was destroyed, and in the year 96 after Christ Revelation was written. And this prophecy predicts specific positioning of the stars. The alignment of the stars, the planets, the sun, and 3 comets that was only discovered after 2016. So on the 23rd of September 2017, we see this positioning. And a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, and the moon under her feet. And on her head a crown of 12 stars. So you see there 9 stars, and then Venus, Mars, and Mercury making 12. And she was with child, and she cried out, being in labor and in pain to give birth. And there's the child, it's Jupiter, and if she's in labor, then it means that she needed to have been pregnant for 9 months. So we look at the comet C2017 E1, and that comet moved from Leo to Virgo, and at the correct moment she was with child, so she was pregnant with Jupiter, and then Jupiter stayed in her for 9 months and then got born. So let's look at how that happened. So there the comet moves, and that comet moves from Leo, and you can see that at the right moment Jupiter is moving closer, and then as that comet reaches her, she's pregnant with Jupiter. And then we can see at the bottom, you can see the months, and you can see that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months, 8 months, and then 9 months, and the sun moves to its position, and you can see she's now clothed with the sun. You can see the moon moving in, and at that exact minute Jupiter is then born, and the whole sign is exactly the way that it was predicted. So the Revelation 12 verse 1, and a great sign appeared in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun, with the moon beneath her feet, and on her head a crown of 12 stars. She was with child, and she cried out, being in labor and in pain to give birth. And this sign, I played it back for 2,000 years, and it never happened exactly like this. There was always something missing, or the sun's not in position, or the moon's not in position, or there's not enough stars at her head. So, and what made it even more special was that after Jerusalem has been destroyed in the year 70, in the year 2017 in December, Jerusalem was declared the capital of Israel again. And it means that Revelation predicted the exact position of the moon and the stars and the sun and the comets 1,947 years in advance. And that's the exact number of years that 1947, when the United Nations assigned the land to Jews in Palestine. Now we move to the next comet, which is C2022 E3, and that one moved from Draco the dragon, or the serpent, all the way down to Eridanus the river. And Revelation 12 verse 9 says, and the great dragon was thrown down, the age-old serpent, and the serpent hurled water like a river out of his mouth after the woman, so that he might cause her to be swept away with the flood. And early in 2023, in February, the first Abrahamic family house was inaugurated, and that is a single site that's got 3 Abrahamic faiths in it. So it is the Jews that rejected Jesus, and then it's also for the Christians, which is mostly the Roman Catholic Church that's got their church there, that also say, but yeah, it's fine to believe in Jesus, but pray to Mary, and your works is important, and all kinds of things to move away from it's only Jesus. Jesus is the only way. And then also Muslims has got a place there where they basically say that they reject Jesus, and you must only, it's your works that counts, and that's the only way to get to heaven. The comet C 2023-A3, we see how it moves then from the woman to the eagle, and it reaches the eagle in 2024 December the 8th. So Revelation 12 verse 14 says, and the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, and she might fly into the wilderness, into a place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And we see that that's the 3rd sign then. And I think let's look at how the first comet was waiting. So we see that when Jupiter was born, we see him waiting to devour the child, which was Jupiter. So we see how Mars move up to the comet as if they discussing something, and then Mars moves away, and then we see that Jupiter approaches, but Saturn stays between Jupiter and the comet. Now this is like a wall that's happening in heaven. You see Mars just runs away, but then you see the other planets coming. Saturn's protecting Jupiter. You can see how the comet try and catch them. And then we see more planets joining in just now. And we see Jupiter's getting away, and Mercury's coming back to protect. And then we see that the comet just gives up and say, okay, it's not going to be able to catch Jupiter. And the comet moves to the eagle, probably looking for the woman, but she's not there. And then from there on we see how the comet moves to Draco. Now we see how the comet moves from Draco, and the comet moves close past Mars, and we see that he gets thrown from heaven, and then he reached the start of the river. And what's interesting is as he reaches the Falls River and he starts this flood, the sun is at the water bearer. And then he moves to the keeper of the hour, and then he moves to the end of the river. Now, from there he just moves away, and by 2030 he's away from the river. The exact position that he was on 2026 in February and the 25th at sunset, where the sun is at the water bearer and the comet realize that the earth swallowed the river. And if we switch on from looking from Jerusalem at sunset, and we look at the earth, you can see that the river has been swallowed by the earth at that exact moment. Revelation 12 verse 15, and the serpent hurled water like a river out of his mouth after the woman, so that he might cause it to be swept away with the flood. But the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened his mouth and swallowed up the river, which the dragon had hurled out of his mouth. And then we see this next comet C 2023A3, which moves past the woman, goes close to the serpent, and then grabs the woman and rips her away to the eagle. So all of these signs now got from Revelation, and you can see them all playing out. So if you believe that the book of Revelation was written by a man without inspiration from God, the God who controls all the stars, and then nearly 2,000 years ago it happened exactly as described in Revelation, and if you don't believe that that was inspired by God and it was God who gave those words, then I don't know what you believe, because humans did not know about these comets until the past 2-3 years. Thank you for listening.